To fit comfortably, each person needs 3 square feet of space. You have a 10-foot by 10-foot square. So to find the area of my space, we multiply length times width. So we have 100 feet squared. And because each person needs 3, we're going to divide this number by 3. So we get 33.3. So there's not enough room for 34 people, so you can fit 33 people in the space. Following the same space guidelines, how many people could fit in a 2-mile stretch? So if this is my street, each mile is 5280, and there's 2 of them. So 2-mile stretch. On both sides of the street, 20 feet deep. So I'm going to go to my add, subtract, multiply, divide. 5280 times 2. So the length of the street is 10,560. And we're going to multiply that times 20, because that's how far deep it is. And then we multiply it by 2, because there's 2 sides of the street. So the total area is 422,400. And you divide it by the 3 feet per square. And we get 14,800 people. A softball measures 3 inches in diameter. How many softballs could fit in a box that measures 2.5 feet, 9 inches in width, and 1.5 feet? So first I'm going to convert them to the same unit. So 2.5 times the 12 inches in a foot. So that means that it is 30 inches by 9 inches by 1.5 times 12, 18 inches. All right, so they're telling me that each softball is 3 inches in diameter. So that means that I could fit 10 balls this way, 3 inches this way. I could fit 3 balls this way. 18 divided by 3 is 6, so 6 balls high. So you're taking 10 times 3 times 6. So you could fit a total of 180 softballs if they are maximizing their space by touching at their diameters. Using the same softballs in boxes, how many softballs would fit inside a classroom that measured 10 boxes in length by 11 boxes in width by 12 boxes in height? So 10 times 11 times 12. So that means you could have 1320 boxes. But it wants to know how many softballs. So we just said that each box has 180 softballs. So you multiply times 180, and we have 237,600 balls. All right, how many license plates are available in Texas if the first 3 spaces must be letters? So that means there's 26 options. And the last 4 spaces must be digits. That means there's 10 options with no restrictions. So that means you have 26 to the 3rd and then 10 to the 4th. Because there's 3 spaces that are letters, 4 spaces that are digits. So I do 26 to the 3rd times 10 to the 4th. On the same license plates, if the letters or digits cannot repeat, how many different license plates are available now? So the first one, there's 26, then there's 25, then there's 24 options. When it comes time for the digits, there's 10 options, 9 options, 8 options, 7 options. So you multiply these together. To get that many total options. The diagonal of an old-style television is 33 inches. So here's my TV, and it's 33 inches. The aspect ratio is 3x and 4x. So anytime it tells you the aspect ratio, put an x next to it. So then we're going to use Pythagorean theorem. So we have 3x squared plus 4x squared equals 33 squared. So this gives me 9x squared plus 16x squared equals 1089. You combine your like terms, so 25x squared equals 1089. Divide by 25, divide by 25. So you get x squared equals 43.56. To get rid of the squared, you have to square root. And we get x equals 6.6. Okay, so I'm going to use that x value to then plug it in to find the. So now that I know what x equals, we take 3 times 6.6. So we get 19.8 for this side. And then we take 4 times 6.6 to get 26.4 for this side. So the length and the width are 19.8 inches by 26.4 inches. All right, you get a new 15-inch tablet with an aspect ratio of 16:9. So same thing. So the 15 inches is the diagonal. We're going to have a 16x to a 9x. So we use Pythagorean theorem. 16x squared plus 9x squared equals 15 squared. So this is 256x squared, 81x squared equals 225. You combine your like terms, so 256 plus 81 equals 337x squared. Divide by that coefficient. So x squared equals 0.668. Then you square root, and x equals 0.817. So I will use this x value to plug it back in to find my side lengths. So 16 times 0.817 is 13.07. 9 times 0.817 is 7.35. So the measurements are 13.07 by 7.35. All right, what is the check digit D for the following Visa card number? So for this, you need to take all of your every other digit, starting with the first, the third, the fifth, the seventh, the ninth, the 11th, 13th, and the 15th. You take all of those numbers, add them together. 4. And you get 41. And you multiply this number by 2 to get 82. You add up all the non-underlined numbers. To get 22. And so far that gets us to 104. But then you also have to go back and you have to add whatever underlined numbers are greater than 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So plus 5, so your total comes out to 109. So the check digit is whatever would get you to a number ending in 0. So our check digit needs to be 1. The grades in pre-calculus are as follows. Your daily grades are these. So I'm going to find the average of all of those numbers. So I add them together, 90 plus 86 plus 76 plus 100 plus 95 plus 84 plus 95. And I divide that by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 grades. So my daily grade average is an 89.43. For your tests, we have an 87 and a 93. So I'm going to take 87 plus 93 divided by 2. So my test average is a 90. For my assessments, you have a 92 and an 87 divided by 2, 89.5. The category weights are as follows. So we're going to take this number times 0.25, this number times 0.55, and this number times 0.2. And then add them all together. So 89.43 times 0.25 plus 90 times 0.55 plus 89.5 times 0.2. So your final average is an 89.76, which would average out to a 90. If your grades in history for the 6 weeks are 88 and 93, what must you earn on the final to make at least a 90 for the semester? So you're going to take this grade times 7. So 90 times 7 equals 630. And then you're going to subtract each of these times 3. So minus 88 times 3 minus 93 times 3. Minus 88 times 3 minus 93 times 3. 87. So to keep a 90 for semester average, you earn an 87 on the final. In 2019, Deshaun Watson completed 126 passes in 204 attempts for a total of 1,699 yards with 19 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. Find Watson's quarterback rating. So to be able to answer this question, we first have to know what formula we're going to be using for our quarterback rating. So to find your quarterback rating, it is 25 plus 10 times the percent completion plus 40 times the percent touchdown minus 50 times the percent interceptions plus 50 times the yards per attempt, all divided by 12. So if I take this information, and you can type it in exactly how you have it. So to get the little fraction, I do control divide, and on top we have 25 plus 10, and then here percent completion, so that means completed 126 out of 204, so 126 out of 204, then it's plus 40 times the percent touchdowns, so touchdowns was 19 out of 204. Oh, I need to do these times 100 because they're percents. Okay, then it's minus 50 times the percent interceptions. So there were 8 interceptions out of 204. 8 out of 204 times 100. And then plus 50 times the average yards per attempt. So total yards, 1699 divided by 204. 1699 divided by 204. All over 12. Okay, so we want this as a decimal. So our quarterback rating is 102.96. Your trying to find the best grocery store to shop. So you can come up with a formula to compare different stores in your area. 40% for the price, 10% for lines, 30% for freshness of food, 20% for friendly employees. KEB got a 75 out of 100. So this is for price. So I'm going to take 0.4 times 75 plus an 85 for freshness. Where's lines? Oh, a 90 for lines. So 90 is 10%, so 0.10 times a 90. 85 for freshness of food, so 0.3 times 85. Plus, then it's 20% for friendly employees, so 0.2. And they got a 100 on friendly employees. So KEB's rating is an 84.5. So what we did was we took the percentage, so this was 0.4 times whatever their grade was. They got a 75. Plus, then it was 10% for that 90. Then it was 30%, so 0.30 for that 85. And then plus 20 for that 100. All right, Kroppers, overall score is 85. So the total is 85. They received a 90 on price, so 0.4 times 90. An 80 on lines, so plus 0.10 times 80. And 80 on freshness of food, so plus 3 times 80. What is Kroppers' score for friendly employees? So we're missing this plus 0.2 times, we'll just call it F. So I'm going to simplify what we have. So 0.4 times 90 plus 0.1 times 80. Oh. 0.1 times 80 plus 0.3 times 80. And that gave us a 68. So far we have 68 plus 0.2F equals 85. I'm going to subtract this 68 from both sides. So 0.2F equals 85 minus 68 is 17. Divide by 0.2, divide by 0.2. So your friendliness employee grade is an 85. How many possible ways can a lead and understudy for a play be chosen from 8 students who auditioned? Okay, so because we're assigning roles, a lead and an understudy, this is a permutation. So out of 8, we are selecting a permutation for 2 parts. So to do that on the calculator, we click Menu, Probability, Permutation, 8, 2. So there are 56 ways to pick them. How many possible ways can a group of 4 Key Club students be chosen for a trip to the Capitol if 2 boys and 2 girls must be chosen? The Key Club has 12 girls, so 12. This is a combination because we're not assigning them a position. It's just any 2. But then we also, out of 8 boys, we have a combination of 2 boys. So we have Menu, Probability. Now it's a combination, 12, 2, times Menu, Probability. It's a combination of 8, 2. So 1, 8, 4, 8 total possible ways that we could choose those students. Draw a Venn diagram that displays the following information. So we have 500 students total, 300 were females, 75 were female drivers, and 160 were drivers. So in our box, all of these have to add up to 500. For our circles, we're talking about females, and we're talking about drivers. So there were 300 total females. So this whole thing has to add to 300. 75 were female and drivers. So now I know this has to be 225 by taking the 300 and subtracting the 75. 160 drivers, so I'm going to take 160 minus the 75 to give me 85. And then to find the number outside, we take 500 minus 85 minus 75 minus 225. And we get 115. How many students were surveyed were not drivers? So that means this portion were not drivers and this portion were not drivers. So 225 plus 115 is 340. How many male drivers were surveyed? So these are the female drivers, so that means these must be the male drivers, 85. How many females surveyed were not drivers? This part right here would be 225. What is the probability of selecting a driver? So these two parts are drivers, which adds up to 160 out of the 500 total. So 160 divided by 500 gives you 32%. What is the probability of selecting a female or a driver? So that means we have to include these three portions. So 225 plus 75 plus 85 is 385 out of the 500. So that's 77%. What is the probability of selecting a male non-driver? So males are not in this circle, so it could be this one or this one, but it's also a non-driver. So it's this 115 out of 500. So 23%. Given the population of females, what's the probability of selecting a female driver? So we're only looking at the total number of females, so that's 300. And the probability of selecting a female driver is that 75. So we're limiting our population. It's no longer that 500 total. So 75 divided by 300 is 25%. Given the population of drivers, so we're only looking at that total of 160, what is the probability of selecting a male driver? So these are our female drivers right here. So the male drivers are this 85. So 85 divided by 160 is 53.125%.